with Cambodia being the chair of ASEAN this year, what are you expecting, or what can we expect from them?
Well, I think Cambodia has done the chairmanship once in the year 2002 and has done it well. And this year, I think they are more prepared than 10 years ago. And all the member states of ASEAN and the dialogue partners would like to make sure that the chairmanship of Cambodia goes well. A lot of issues that ASEAN will have to confront, the integration among ourselves, the movement toward 2015, the pace is going to accelerate. The dialogue partners coming in to participate in our integration process, our community building efforts are going to be very active. So Cambodia has set for itself a theme: one community, one destiny, meaning consolidation of ASEAN integration into an ASEAN community, and also making sure that we will achieve things together. We will have to put all our efforts and resources together in order to achieve one destiny, which will be a good destiny, not a common destiny that we all will reject, but it will have to be a destiny that is stable, secure, prosperous, equitable, and comfortable for our people. So the idea of caring and sharing ASEAN, the idea of mutual support for each other, the idea of cooperation with each other, both in the ASEAN region and outside the region, will be very, very strong this year once again. And I hope that, with Cambodia in the chair, we can also look into the issue of consolidating the new member states, helping the new member states to integrate more effectively and to make adjustments, whatever they need to make, in order to catch up with the rest of the ASEAN member states, because they are newer and they are less developed on the development scale of the region. So Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Myanmar will have to concentrate on this issue, and the rest of the ASEAN countries will be helping, and the rest of our dialogue partners, whether it's Japan, China, Korea, or India, Australia, New Zealand, the EU, the US, Canada, will all be helping the new member states to achieve a higher level of development among themselves, inside, and the integration with ASEAN. I hope that this chairmanship we will focus on that one too.
And of course, they're also focusing on asking the West to lift the sanctions on Myanmar as well.
Well, the issue of Myanmar has been an issue that has dampened the relationship between ASEAN and the rest of the world for some time. We have made the decision that Myanmar can and will chair ASEAN in the year 2014. And now the world seems to be adjusting to that prospect, and a lot of visits are coming in from the United States, from Europe, from Japan, from various global institutions, the UN, the World Bank, and the IMF. So we certainly would like to help Myanmar open up and help sustain that opening up of Myanmar.
Right.
That there won't be any reversal, that there won't be any return to more restrictions in the future. And all the ASEAN member states are very supportive. And I think the strategy has been now proven correct, that one step that Myanmar makes, the rest of ASEAN will be behind it, sustain that step, and move forward into a more open and more integrated Myanmar, reconciled in itself, and of course connected and integrated with ASEAN. That's the only strategy forward. Yeah.
And now looking back for the past 4 years on your role as the Secretary-General of ASEAN, and you're also recognized as one of the first Secretary-General with prominent role. What has been your highlights during this past 4 years?
Well, from the very beginning, and I guess we can say that time flies, it's already 4 years. But I remember when I was appointed by the ASEAN leaders, one of my priorities was to bring ASEAN to the people and to open up ASEAN so that the people of ASEAN can contribute and participate in the process of ASEAN. I think we have achieved that objective quite well. We would see that ASEAN people through ASEAN civil society are now engaging more with the ASEAN mechanisms, whether it's through the ministerial meetings or through the summit meetings. And then we certainly encourage more interaction between the people of ASEAN among themselves, and we participate in various activities that the people of ASEAN would want to engage ASEAN. In the charter stipulates that this is going to be a people-oriented organization. And I think we have certainly set up various mechanisms to respond to the demands, the expectation of the people. The ASEAN Human Rights Intergovernmental Commission is now up and going on the issue of women and children, how to promote, how to protect the rights and the welfare of the children and women is already in existence. I think ASEAN has become more open, more caring, and more sensitive to the expectation and to the demand of the ASEAN people. It's no longer an organization that it's only for the diplomats, only for the ministers, only for the leaders. I think to that extent, I have been quite successful in opening up ASEAN for the larger portion of the ASEAN population. Not all, not complete. There's a lot of work to do yet, but I think ASEAN has become less foreign word to the households of ASEAN. It has become part of the language of the people of ASEAN. The private sector is already there. They are very conscious, very aware of the fact that ASEAN is offering larger opportunity, bigger market, and more opportunities for the private sector to invest and to make profit, to make benefit, and to bring economic development to the people of ASEAN. But the academic institutions are very much aware of this. The civil society, the media, extremely important. The role of the media is now very much focused on what ASEAN is doing, what ASEAN can do, what ASEAN wants to do. And I think this is very, very good preparation for the future.
What do you expect to see in the next Secretary-General?
Oh, that's one more year to go. I'm sure he or she will continue on this road of integration. One last year that I have certainly would concentrate on helping Myanmar sustain its openness, make sure that the issue between Thailand and Cambodia is not going to flare up again, and making sure that all mechanisms of ASEAN work effectively between and among themselves, and the people can participate, can make a contribution. I think these are going to be issues that will last into the future. There are still problems between and among ASEAN member states that have to be resolved. And of course, between some of the member states of ASEAN and, for example, China, the issue of South China Sea. We need to work on that. We need to bring that under control. We need to make sure that we can create a momentum forward into the future, that if we cannot solve the problem, at least we can contain the impact of the problem, that there won't be any open conflicts, that there won't be any clashes, any open violence on the overlapping claims in the South China Sea. Mechanism is in place, and discussions and exchange are now going on. So I think if we can achieve these things, it would be enough for me for this last year, and I'm sure the next Secretary-General will pick up from there, and there will be a lot more issues to accomplish.
Okay. Well, I know this might be too soon to ask again, but how do you feel like not seeing 2015 under your term?
Well, I mean, everything that I have done since the Charter came into being, October and December 2008, has been certainly gearing toward 2015. The fact that I think we have put tremendous effort into it is a rewarding experience, but one man cannot finish it. You know, one or two Secretary-Generals won't do it. I think it will take much longer. By the end of 2015, we are not going to have a gift box wrapped in colorful papers and tied up with beautiful ribbons, and we say to the ASEAN people, ASEAN leaders, that community building is finished, accomplished. No, we're not going to do that. It's going to be an ongoing effort, but it is a deadline that we have set for ourselves, that we will strive toward 2015, but the work will go on. And I think by that time there will be enough momentum, there will be enough of results that the people of ASEAN will be convinced that one community, one destiny, or ASEAN community is a worthwhile goal for all of us. 10 countries, 600 million people, and growing.
Right. And of course, it doesn't stop just 2015. We got to think beyond there.
Yes. Yeah. ASEAN, if we accomplish what we have set out to accomplish, that is all major mechanisms and organisms that we want to set up for our community, we have achieved those things. We will have to go on making sure that they work, making sure that we interact with the rest of the world, that our people are benefiting from the integration and the interaction with the global community. It will need adjustment every day on every issue along the way. This is a road of very high competition, very highly competitive process. We have to make sure that our people are well prepared, qualified, and can be competitive in an open space out there. We cannot close down, we cannot close up, we cannot live in the walls, behind the walls anymore. The only way to survival is to consolidate ourselves, integrate among ourselves, and be prepared to face the challenges together. And I think that sentiment of being one ASEAN, one community is emerging, and I'm sure we will be able to compete with the world.
Have you thought of what you're going to be doing after 2012 ends? Are you coming back to Thai politics?
A lot of options, but I'm not quite fixed on what I'm going to do. I'll be certainly having a lot of experiences, a lot of exposure, and I will be, coming back with experiences and appreciation of the highest quality out there, in many countries around the world. What I would like to see is for the Thai people also to have that benefit of that opportunity to enjoy, to experience the best of what is there in the world outside. And if there is anything that I can do to help the Thais to access to what is best, I would be very happy. But that can be done in different roles, in different capacity. But I think it will depend. Kesera-sera.